hmm I was very concerned that Cliff and his wife had been moved to a location with the intention of sewing in. Yes. And considering she was active duty Navy at the time, yeah. hmm When I first moved in there, she said, "Oops, I forgot to put my junk in the trunk." Oh. It seemed that somebody wanted to witch the population, and they decided to put the electric grid through a little lizard in the rectum. And the thought was that they were intentionally sewing into the United States military's personnel. Yeah. So as to have control of the individual relationships of those that were in the military. Now, let's say you're involved with a spouse or loved one that you'd like to marry, and you're like, well, why don't you offer me? Yes. Why does the man always have to be the aggressor? See, I thought about this whole idea of the offering and the receiving, and that God loves a cheerful giver. A lot of women got sewn into the witch where they never have sex without getting paid. Oh, you always pay your spouse for every time that you have sex with her? Yes. Well, it used to be that when married, both the man and the woman would want to offer each other the availability of a loving relationship. Yes. Now, a large number of ancient breeds decided that they would use the genetics of actual citizens. Yeah. In fact, I thought there was one time when my wife didn't swallow. No. Now, for all of my genetic children that have been bred to be my biological children, yes, I'm going to want them. And then I would never use them because I'm their father. And they realize that. But as their father, when they're not with me, yes, I will sue this county for the war crimes of using the genetics of citizens without their knowledge to breed a communication system that involves children. Oh. Now they don't know. They have no idea. But I'm not with them all the time. And when I talk to those that are in office right now, we do not breed people so that you can use their genetics as a communication system. Do you understand that, Sheriff? We don't breed people. Now, I'm going to want to speak to my attorneys. Yes. When representing me as they deposition my wife, yeah, about whether or not, yes, while on Guam, instead of swallowing, she decided to spit it out. And if I find out that she did, and that you gave my sons to her for her custody, yes, I'm going to sue you, Judge Rohrer. Yes, I'm going to sue you, Brent Basden. Right. I'm going to sue every judge of this county for refusing to acknowledge the rights of the respondent. Now, I really think that when we were on Guam, yes, Heidi got paid to sell my sons. Yes. And she got paid to sell my genetics. Oh, because somebody, yes, said that I was worth something. Yes. And you decided to issue court orders that have forgery and fraud. Now, for every child that has been made from my genetics, yes, I am their biological father. And I'm going to want this state and the United States to enforce that. Yeah. And then as soon as you realize defrauding the United States is a war crime, I'm going to put every judge in this county in prison. Oh, I'm going to take all your assets. Yes. And when you get out of prison, any and all assets that you have when you get out, I will demand restitution from the county. Now, this idea that we're just going to have these war crimes, yes, where you're going to use the genetics of the population without their knowledge, you're going to make little boys and girls right now. Listen, I want every child that has been made from my genetics. I want every biological child, yes, that was made from my genetics. And I want them all residing with me until such time as they are able to reside on their own. Now, we don't use the genetics of the population without the informed consent of those that are citizens. And it looks like the sheriffs and the police departments do not respect the genetics of the citizens. So why don't you remove your fraudulent dissolution of marriage today? And the fraud of the protection orders today? Yes. And then you have my sons in my custody so that I can sue you for defrauding the United States of America. Just give me